This video is going to go over the study guide for the Unit 2 test, Part 2. All right, the first problem asks you to fill in the table and the graph and write an equation for this situation. Trevor is collecting clowns. He has 3 clowns in his collection to start with and plans to add 2 clowns each week. So when we fill in the table, we start with 3 right here, and then each week we go up by 2. So there's 1, 5, 2, 7, 3, 9, 4, 11, 5, 13, and 6, 15. On the graph, we're going to put weeks on the X, clowns on the Y. Here on weeks, we're going to go up by ones. We're also going to go up by ones on the X, and that's what your graph should look like. The equation, either one of these is acceptable, y equals 2x plus 3, or c equals 2w plus 3. Number 2, the city has decided to fill the water tower. The tower is being filled at a constant rate of 5 gallons per minute. So we're starting at 0. There was nothing in there to start. So here's 0, 0. And from there, we're going to go up by 5. So your pairs are going to be 1, 5, 2, 10, 3, 15, 4, 20, 5, 25, 6, 30. We're going to put minutes on the X, gallons on the Y, and then minutes are going to go up by 1, and then gallons are going to go up by 2s, and that's what your graph looks like. Your equation will be y equals 5x or g equals 5m. Number 3, I think I cut off part of the problem here. The top part says Sam works at the Kane County Fair earning $6 an hour. So he starts at 0, and then for every hour he works, he gets 6 more. So the pairs are 0, 0, 1, 6, 2, 12, 3, 18, 4, 24, 5, 30, and 6, 36. The hours go on your x-axis, and you're going to go up by 1s. The money he earns goes up on the y-axis, and you're going to go up by 2, and there's what your graph should look like. The equations can be either y equals 6x or c equals 6h. Number 4, Alyssa is attempting to hike Mount Evans in Colorado. She plans to cover 2 miles each day. So as you can see on the table, she starts with nothing. She starts at the bottom, and every day she's going to hike 2 more miles. So after 1 day she'll be 2, 2 days she'll be 4, 3, 6, 4, 8, 5, 10, and this should be 6, 12. The days will be on your x-axis, and the intervals will be 1. The miles will be on your y-axis. The intervals will also be 1, and this is what your graph looks like. Your equation should be y equals 2x. Number 5. Kipper can eat 12 rawhide bones every 3 weeks. You got to find the unit rate by taking your y and dividing by your x, or 12 divided by 3, which gives you a unit rate of 4. So at 0 weeks, no rawhides. 1 week, 4 rawhides. 2, 8, 3, 12, 4, 16, 5, 20, and 6, 24 rawhide bones. You all know that rawhide's bad for dogs, right? So this is kind of a bad question. All right, weeks is on your x-axis, going by 1s. The number of bones is on your y-axis, going by 2s, and there's what your graph should look like. Your equation is y equals 4x. Number 6, the cost for the crew to landscape your lawn is $150 per hour. The crew charges an initial fee of $75 for equipment maintenance. So we're not starting at 0, we're starting at that $75 that they're going to charge you. Then you're going to go up by $150, so you'll be at 1, $225, 2, $375, 3, $525, 4, $675, 5, $825, and 6, $975. So you'll have hours on the X, going over by 1s, and I have dollars on the Y. I went up by 50s. You can go up by 75s too. There's my line. Your equation is y equals 150x plus 75. All right, let's go on to section where I give you the answer sheets for. This is number 1. You got the text. You and your family go to the Kane County Fair. It costs $5 to get into the fair and $3 each time you go on a ride. You start on your table with 5. After 1 ride, you're paying $3 additional, so it puts you at 8. 2 rides, 11. 3 rides, 14. 4 rides, 17. If you go to the table, the number of rides goes on the X. I went over by 1s. The dollars goes on the Y. I went up by 2s, and there is my graph. The equation is y equals 3x plus 5. This is not there. Okay? The next one, you got the equation, y equals negative 2x plus 7. So then I went to the table. I started with 7, and then each day I added 2 more to that. So, or I took 2 more away because my rate of change, I'm sorry, is negative 2. So at the first day I'm at 5, second day I'm down to 3, third day I'm down to 1, then I dropped to negative 1, which we're not going to show on our graph. So when you, I made the story then. I said the bird bath has 7 gallons of water. Each day, 2 gallons of water evaporates. So we start here with days on the X going up by 1s, gallons on the Y also going up by 1s. So I started here at 7 and it dropped by 2 until you get to day 4. Day 4 it'll be down here. All right. Number 3, you had the table. I couldn't fit all of it in, but you were given the table. My equation is y equals 3x plus 2. I made a story. Yours may be different. There is a $2 flat fee for sending a package plus $3 per pound. So this should be pounds should be on your x-axis going over by 1s, and the cost of sending the package should be on the y also going by 1s. So just for sending the package, you're $2. 1 pound package is $5. 2 pounds is 8. 3 is 11. 4 is 14. You were given that. All right, you get the graph for number 4. This one's a little tricky because it's fractional. So if you use the triangle on the graph, you will see that the slope is, or the rate of change right here is 2 over 3, and the place you start at is 4. So I made a problem about a bean plant that started at 4 inches when I planted it, and every week it grew 2/3 of an inch. So if I start at my 4 inches, week 1 it'll be 4 2/3, week 2 it'll be 5 1/3, week 3 it'll be 6, and then at week 4 it'll be 6 2/3 inches tall. The next one, you get the table. So this table was already filled in for you. So I made my equation next. You start at 25 and you go up by 25. And this is tricky because you are going up by 2. So from here to here, 25 to 75 is 50. But you got to divide that by 2 because that's 2 months. So my rate of change is 25. So be careful when you are looking at this that it only goes up by increments of 1. Otherwise, you have to find the rate of change. So I made up a story. I said Mark collects Pokemons. He started with 25 and added 25 each month. I had the months on the X going up by 1s, and then I had the number of Pokemons on the Y going up by 25, and that's what your graph should look like. Couple more here. 6, we had Taylor has been collecting stamps since she was little. So far, she has collected 32 and plans to add 7 each month. So that's where I get my equation. Y equals 7x plus 32. This is your initial value, and this is what she adds each month. Then I went to the table. I started at 32, so I have 0 and 32 at the bottom, and then you're adding 7 more each month. So at month 1, I have 39, 2, I have 46, 3, I'm at 53, and 4, I have 60. So the graph will have months on the X, again by 1 increments. Stamps, I went by fives, and that's on your y, and that's how your graph should look. So we changed the equation for number 7 to be this, y equals 15x plus 10. So I made my context. Sam gets $10 to go into work each day. For each phone he sells, he gets $15. So my x is number of phones. My y is the total number of dollars he makes in a day. So he starts with his 10, and then every phone he sells, he gets 5 more. One phone, he gets 15 more. Sorry. So 15. So 1, he's at 25. 2, he's at 40. 3, he's at 55. If he sells 4 phones, he's at $70. Your X is the number of phones. I went over by ones. Your Y is the money he makes each day. And I went up by 10. And that's what your graph should look like. All right, this last one, the graph is in your study guide, and you see that it was a downward sloping graph. You can find the rate of change by making your triangle. I have y equals negative 2x plus 10 because the graph started at 10. I went to the table. Graph started at 10 and is losing 2 every time. At 1 minute, it's down 8 gallons. 2, it's down to 6. 3, it's down to 4. And 4, it's at 2. Here is my context. There's a hole in a bucket. Currently, there are 10 gallons of water in the bucket. Water is draining at a rate of 2 gallons per minute. All right, that's all. If you have any questions, make sure you ask before your test.